Welcome to ADDcast. I'm Ad Systems Multimedia Specialist Brian Cohen. Joining me today is Alec Hulbert, Controller at Tiger Fuel, and Severine Gimenez, Senior Financial Business Analyst at Port Consolidated. Alec and Severine, thank you both for taking the time to speak with me today.
Of course.
Thank you for having us.
Alec, can you start by telling us a little bit about Tiger Fuel and what your role is there?
Absolutely. So Tiger Fuel is a fuel distribution marketer with a division of convenience store, deli convenience stores, and Tiger washes, as well as a division for solar and renewable energy. We're primarily based here in the Central Virginia region, but we have wholesale partners ranging from Maryland down through North Carolina. My role here, as you said, is the controller. So I help shepherd all of the accounting and finance department and all that encompasses.
And Severine, can you tell us about Port Consolidated and what your role is there?
Port Consolidated is a wholesale fuel and branded lubricant distributor in Florida. We're in 9 different locations around the state, and we carry 6 different brands of lubricants. So we are very SKU heavy. And my role, I've been with the company 21 years. I'm the senior financial analyst. I handle reporting, ERP applications, as well as gross profit management.
All right, and this next question is for both of you. How long have you each been a member of the ad user group, and what has your experience been like with the group? Alec, we'll start with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've only been a member of the AUG for a few years. It started at the Business Tech Conference back in 2023, which was my first real exposure to the ads user group. And I joined shortly thereafter and have been participating in some of the meetings and the monthly committee reviews, as well as this year was the first year that I attended the annual meeting in New Jersey back in May.
And Severine?
It's coming up on a year. I joined just when we started our conversion to E3. And so we are still in the middle of the conversion. So why I joined is because the more information you have, the better you get. So I did go to the same meeting in May. That was my first experience with the ads user group in a live setting.
Well, excellent. And today we're going to focus on the creation of the AUG Finance Committee. Can you talk about what prompted you both to form this committee?
Sure, I can start. So it really, I think, began in a lot of people's minds over the last few years. You know, if you think about the way that the AUG is structured, each major module or system of processes within E3 and really outside of that into eStore has a separate standing committee except for finance. So I think what the AUG members had seen up to that point was, you know, a lot of financial topics in either the best practices or general groups and committees, but no real dedicated space for finance in particular, which I always found interesting because, you know, whatever business you have, whether you're really into the lubricants or the wholesale or the convenience stores, you know, every organization has some type of financial department and financial requirements. So, you know, during that ads annual meeting, AUG meeting back in May, just chatting with Megan and Justin, and it's been on their minds. And I guess Severine and I were just there in the room. So they were like, hey, we need some people to shepherd this. So that's from my perspective. Severine?
Yeah, that happened exactly like that. We were in the meeting and, you know, finance and accounting are, and at Port Consolidated, we call ourselves the bottom of the funnel, right? Everything falls downwards and it ends up in our lap. So it's the committee for coordinating everything else that happens in your business.
Great. Now, what kind of ad users are you both hoping the committee will attract to the group?
I see this committee more, you know, all of your accounting and treasury professionals, people that have to be the bridge between the inventory and the ops managers that take all the information that's in the system and then have to produce financials or perfect reporting and requirements from vendors and all kinds of other entities.
Yeah, exactly. I think anybody who primarily is in accounting and finance would benefit greatly from joining the committee. But even if you have a tangential relationship with finance or you partner with them I'd say you'd still be able to get some value out of the topics we plan to discuss.
And so far, how has the interest been from the ad user group community?
So I think it's been pretty well received within the first week of the launch. I think we got, north of 30 plus people that signed up for it, which I don't know how that racks and stacks against the other longer standing committees, but I'd say we got a good dispersion of, more than 10 or 15 different organizations represented and 30 initial members. So I'd say it's taken off pretty well.
I would agree. I think that, we're going to hit a need across the board. So we're going to have some good responses and involvement from the members.
So, can you talk about the frequency and general format of your meetings moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to take that one. So we will be meeting monthly. It's currently scheduled to be the fourth Tuesday of every month from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the format is really going to be structured around what the needs of the committee members are. We have some initial topics kind of sketched out, but based on just good discussion at these meetings and what people are experiencing, whether it's new releases or new product highlights, and how it impacts what we do in accounting finance every day. It's really largely driven by the group, and what the consensus need is generally the format we'd like to take.
Now, Alec, you mentioned that you had some topics, so let's dig a little deeper there. Can you give ad users an idea of some of the topics you're going to be covering at some of your upcoming meetings?
Absolutely. One of the biggest topics that I think is really relevant is how E3 and eStore connect to the other systems that the accounting and finance professionals use. What type of accounting system integrates, how does that integration work, and all of the things that flow into that. Obviously, we're in an inventory heavy industry, so lots of good topics on industry, being in fuel in that as well, lots of taxes, and there's a lot of tax configuration and impacts within the system. So that'll be good topics of discussion. Customer facing and customer relationship, whether it's invoicing or statements or payments and billing, and all of those things are all things that we're looking to talk about as a group and share best practices, as well as maybe help other members solve some problems. And really anything that anybody experiences day to day within E3 and eStore is a potential topic for us to tackle.
I think the other part that accounting and finance professionals are always tackled with is the demand for data and reports from a variety of sources. And on the lubricant side, the vendors are more and more data hungry. They want to know where, when, what, how much, how often. So that's become, over the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years, like the demand of data back to vendors has been tremendous. And so that has fallen on the accounting and finance people.
Absolutely. And to piggyback off of what Severine said there, there is a BI and reporting committee, and we've already started conversations about partnering with them and linking up our committee with that committee and others, just because of the nature of finance and how it does touch all of the aspects of, all the different functions. So we'll be partnering with particularly the BI and reporting committee, but as well as others too, to really share and get the most out of, everyone's different experiences.
Now, Alec, you mentioned at the beginning of our conversation that you were introduced to the ad user group at the 2023 BTC. So with the 2026 BTC coming up in May, do you have any plans for the committee in terms of meeting and networking at the conference then?
That's a really good question, Brian, because I hadn't considered that until you just said it, but that's a really good opportunity. There's a lot of new people that attend that conference, and I do think that there's a really good need to bring people together and provide that forum to make the introductions, shake hands, and physically meet the people that we interact with and maybe ask questions in that detailed way. So I don't have any current plans, but I will discuss with the other AUG leadership team members and see what has worked for them in the past and what they recommend as far as giving the finance committee an opportunity and a forum to have that conversation. So great question. And it's something that I'll take away from this and make sure to talk about in future sessions as well, just to make sure everybody's on the same page.
So if anybody was on the fence about joining the committee, what advice would you give them?
I would say if you're on the fence about joining the committee, just come out and check us out. Log into one meeting or contact Alex and I and say, this is what I do for my company. This is the challenges that I face. And we may already have the topic lined up coming up, or it could be something that's very interesting to bring to the committee in the future. So if you're on the fence, come check us out.
And if somebody wants to get in touch with each of you, how would they go about doing so?
Yeah, absolutely. So our contact information is provided to members of the new committee. So the ads team does a really good job for any new members, whether you're an existing AUG member as part of a different committee, or you're a brand new to the ads ecosystem and want to get started with the finance committee in your first way. Register on the ads systems website, and somebody from the ads team will put you in contact with us. Of course, if you're already an AUG member, reach out to your committee chair or anybody at the AUG, knows how to get in contact with Severine and I, and, we'll take it from there and make sure that you've got all the things that you need. And we really look forward to interacting and building that network across all ads users to really just help everybody get better.
Well, Alec and Severine, I thank you both for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
To keep up with the latest happenings at Ad Systems, visit adsys.com/blog or connect with us on social media by following Ad Systems on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or X. If you have any questions about ADDcast, feel free to reach out to us at addcast@adsys.com. Thanks for listening and have a great day.